Their silent paw prints and feather strokes changed the course of history, yet their stories are rarely told. While we remember the generals and monuments, we forget the creatures who walked beside us into hell itself. This is the story of animals in wartime. Pigeons carrying intelligence through skies thick with flak, dogs detecting death before it could strike, horses hauling empires across muddy trenches, and faithful companions reminding soldiers that humanity still existed in darkness. These were not mascots, they were warriors, and their sacrifices demand to be remembered. Welcome back to the Survival Historian, where survival and history intertwine. Today we're unveiling the profound impact of animals who served in humanity's greatest conflicts, creatures whose loyalty transcended species and whose bravery rewrote the rules of warfare. During the First World War alone, estimates suggest 8 to 10 million horses perished. Dogs numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Pigeons by the thousands carried messages through skies patrolled by enemy fighters. These weren't afterthoughts, they were operational assets, and their contributions extended far beyond what most documentaries acknowledge. Animals served as the sinews of logistics, carrying ammunition to artillery crews positioned miles from supply lines, transporting wounded soldiers from open fields back to field hospitals, and providing reconnaissance that no mechanical device could match. But beyond operational support, they became threads connecting soldiers to their humanity. In trenches where death was routine, a loyal companion represented normalcy, love, and reason to survive another day. Their presence in the bleakest moments of human conflict speaks to something profound about the bond between species. High above the carnage, pigeons were revolutionizing communication itself. When trenches collapsed telephone lines and runners were cut down by machine gun fire, pigeons remained undefeated. These birds became the most reliable intelligence network of the Great War. Messages were sealed in small aluminum capsules attached to the bird's leg. The pigeon would navigate across miles of hostile terrain, enemy fire, and treacherous weather to reach its roost. Cher Ami became living legend during the Meuse-Argonne offensive in October 1918. The lost battalion was surrounded, cut off from all communication. Friendly artillery was shelling their positions by mistake. Pigeon after pigeon was shot down. When Cher Ami was released, the bird flew directly into enemy fire. Shot, one leg hanging by a thread, chest torn open by shrapnel, Cher Ami kept flying. He reached the loft 30 minutes later, message intact. That message stopped the artillery barrage and saved nearly 200 American lives. Cher Ami was awarded the Dickin Medal, the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross. Then there was G.I. Joe during the invasion of North Africa in World War II. Ground troops found themselves in danger of being hit by their own air support already en route. G.I. Joe flew 20 miles in 32 minutes, arriving before the bombers. The bombing was called off. An estimated 1,000 lives were spared because one bird refused to fail. Throughout both world wars, thousands of pigeons carried messages that altered military outcomes, prevented friendly fire disasters, and saved countless lives. They operated in conditions that would have grounded aircraft, navigating with an internal compass science still doesn't fully understand. While pigeons ruled the skies, another intelligence network operated on the ground, one measured in keen noses, pricked ears, and an animal's uncanny ability to sense danger. Dogs became unseen saviors, working as frontline sentries, scouts, and specialized lifesavers. Dogs served as sentinels standing guard while exhausted soldiers slept, their ears alert to approaching danger. They tracked enemies through dense forests, their noses following scent particles that human trackers could never perceive. Most crucially, they learned to detect explosives and mines, skills that would save generations of soldiers. A dog moving ahead of an infantry unit sniffing for buried ordnance became a human's early warning system against instant death. Search and rescue dogs emerged as heroes of a different kind. When artillery barrages left men wounded in no man's land, that terrible space between trenches where movement meant instant machine gun fire. Dogs could navigate that killing ground. But if dogs represented precision, horses embodied raw endurance. Even as mechanized warfare transformed the battlefield, horses remained the only practical means of moving supplies to forward positions. Artillery batteries required ammunition, massive shells that only horses could haul across impassable terrain. The bonds between cavalry soldiers and their mounts transcended the functional. A soldier and his horse spent months or years together, developing relationships sometimes closer than bonds to comrades. The horse learned its handler's mood and movements. The soldier understood every shift in his mount's behavior. This relationship meant survival. Millions of horses died in the world wars, frozen, drowned, killed by artillery, or succumbing to disease and exhaustion. Each represented not just an animal's death, but the loss of a partnership forged in extremity. Beyond pigeons, dogs, and horses existed an entire menagerie of animal warriors. Rats detected poison gas minutes before human senses could perceive danger. Cats hunted vermin in trenches, preventing disease transmission. Mules proved indispensable in mountainous terrain. Even exotic animals served elephants, transported supplies through jungles. Camels provided mobility in deserts. Unit mascots, a dog, a cat, even a chimpanzee, provided something no order from headquarters could supply, evidence that tenderness existed amid brutality. A soldier broken by weeks of witnessing death could find in an animal's companionship a reason to survive, a connection to something beyond immediate horror. The 20th century brought mechanization and a gradual reduction in animal combatants. Yet this progression has intensified our recognition of what animals contributed. Museums now display medals awarded to animal heroes. Monuments commemorate the millions who served. The Dickon Medal continues to be awarded to animals demonstrating bravery, ensuring recognition extends beyond the human realm. This legacy has profoundly shaped modern understanding of animal intelligence and capacity for loyalty. Service animals have become formalized recognition of what trenches taught us, that the bond between human and animal can be one of the most profound healing forces available. These animals shaped the outcomes of wars and demonstrated capacities for courage that remain unmatched. From the pigeon carrying a message through impossible odds to the dog standing guard through endless nights, from the horse hauling supplies through mud and blood to the small mascot offering hope in trenches, these animals shaped warfare and demonstrated extraordinary courage. They are our unsung heroes, and their legacy deserves to live on. If these stories have moved you, share this video. Subscribe to The Survival Historian, where we uncover stories that history nearly lost, moments where human resilience and animal loyalty create extraordinary significance. Hit that notification bell, because next time we're exploring how survival has shaped civilizations. These animals cannot tell their own stories, but we can tell them, and we must. Thank you for remembering with us.